Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Stacy Wixall and I'm going to continue on with the Robin Hood adventure. We are now on the second fit and I will read the second fit as well as the third fit. Now is the knight gone on his way. This game he thought full good. When he looked on the greenwood, he blessed Robin Hood. When he thought on the greenwood, on Scarlet, Much, and John, he blessed them for the best company he'd ever come upon. Then spoke that gentle knight to Little John, he did say, Tomorrow I must to Yorktown, to St. Mary's Abbey, and to the abbot of that place 400 pounds deliver. If I'm not there by tomorrow night, my land is lost forever. The abbot said to his convent, there he stood on ground, 12 months ago a knight came here and borrowed 400 pounds. He borrowed 400 pounds against all his land free. If he doesn't come this very day, disinherited shall he be. It's too early, said the prior. The day is not far gone. I'd rather pay 100 pounds and lay down soon. The night is far beyond the sea. In England's his right. He suffers hunger and cold and many a sorry night. It would be a great pity, said the prior, to have his land this way. If you be so light of your conscience, you'll do him wrong today. Thou art ever in my beard, said the abbot. By God and Saint Richard, with that came in a fat-headed monk, the high steward. He is dead or hanged, said the monk. By God, that bought me dear, and we shall have to spend in this place 400 pounds a year. The abbot and the high steward started forth full bold. The high justice of England, the abbot there did hold. The high justice and many more had taken into their hands all the knight's debt to have that knight's land. They wouldn't give the knight a minute, the abbot and his men, unless he comes this very day, he loses all his land. He won't come soon, said the justice. We have to not long to wait. But in sorrow time for them all, the knight came to the gate. Then said the gentle knight, to all his men said he, Now put on your simple clothes that you brought from the sea. They put on their simple clothes, they came to the gate soon. The porter was ready to let them in and welcomed them every one. Welcome, Sir Knight, said the porter. My lord to measure is he, and so is many a gentleman for the love of thee. The porter swore a full great oath, by God that made me, here is the best cursed horse ever I yet did see. Lead them to the stable, he said, so they can take their ease. They'll not go in there, said the knight, by God that died on a tree. Lords have gone to measure inside the abbot's hall. The knight went forth and kneeled and saluted them great and small. How do you do, Sir Abbot, said the knight. I've come to hold my day. The first word the abbot spoke, have you brought my pay? Not one penny, said the knight. By God that made me, you are a shrewd debtor, said the abbot. Sir Justice, drink to me. What are you doing here, said the abbot, if you didn't bring your pay? For God, then, said the knight, to pray for a longer day. Your day is broke, said the justice. You can't pay what you owe. Now, good Sir Justice, be my friend and defend me from my foes. I hold with the abbot, said the justice. He gave me some clothes and a fee. Now, good Sir Sheriff, be my friend. No, by God, said he. Now, good Sir Abbot, be my friend and show some courtesy, and hold my lands in thy hand till we can all agree. And I will be your true servant and serve you faithfully until you have 400 pounds of money good and free. The abbot swore a full great oath, by God that died on a tree, get the land where you may, for you'll get none from me. By dear worthy God, then said the knight, that all this world wrought, if I ever have my land again, full dear it shall be bought. God that was of a maiden born, grant us all his help, for it is good to help a friend when he cannot help himself. The abbot loathly on him looked, and names began to call. Out, he said, you false knight, get out of my hall. You lie, then said the gentle knight. Abbot in your hall? False knight I never was, by God that made us all. Up then stood that gentle knight. To the abbot said he, to suffer a knight to kneel so long, you show no courtesy. In jousts and in tournaments full fair have I always been, and put myself as thick in the fight as any I've ever seen. How much will you give, said the justice, for the knight to make a release? or else I dare safely swear you'll never hold your land in peace. 100 pounds, said the abbot. The justice said, give 'em to. No, by God, said the knight, you'll not get it so. Though you give me 1,000 more, yet were you never the nearer, you shall never be my heir, abbot, justice, or friar. He started for the board then, to a table round, and there he took out of a bag an even 400 pounds. Here is your gold, Sir Abbot, said the knight, which you loaned to me. Had you been courteous at my coming, rewarded you would be. The abbot sat still and said no more, for all his royal fare. He cast his head on his shoulders, and fast began to stare. Give me my gold, said the abbot, Sir Justice, that I gave thee. Not a penny, said the justice, by God that died on a tree. Sir Abbot, and you men of law, now I have held my day. Now I shall have my land again, for all that you can say. The knight walked out the door. Gone was all his care. He put on his good clothes, the others he left there. He went forth merrily singing, as men have told in tale. His lady met him at the gate, at home in Verisdale. Welcome, my lord, said his lady. Have you lost your goods? Be merry, dame, said the knight, and pray for Robin Hood. That ever his soul may be in bliss, he's helped you and me. Had it not been for his kindness, beggars would we be. The abbot and I are settled. He's got all his pay. The good yeoman loaned it to me as I came by the way. This knight then dwelled at home, doing what he could, till he had 400 pounds to pay back Robin Hood. He bought 100 bows, the strings were furnished right, 100 sheaths of arrows gold, the heads were burnished bright. And every arrow an ell long, with peacock feathers bright, knocked all with white silver, it was a handsome sight. He got 100 men and decked them out alike, and he dressed himself in the same suit, with cloth of red and white. He held a lance in his hand, light glistened off his mail. He rode with a light song along the greenwood trail. But as he came to a bridge, he stopped a while to watch. The best yeomen of the West were there, having a wrestling match. A full fair game it was. A white bull was put up, a great horse with a saddle and bridle, and a bright gold stirrup. A pair of gloves, a red gold ring, a jug of wine, the play. The man that beareth himself the best shall bear the prize away. There was a yeoman in that place, and the worthiest one was he. But because he was a stranger there, slain he soon would be. The knight had pity on his yeoman in the place where he stood. He said that yeoman should have no harm for the love of Robin Hood. The knight pressed into the place, 100 followed him free, with bows bent and arrows sharp to part that company. They shouldered all and made him room to see what he would say. He took the yeoman by the hand and awarded him the play. He gave him 5 marks for his wine, there it lay on the ground, and bad would it sit with anyone who tried to drink it now. A long time tarried the gentle knight, till that game was through. So long waited Robin fasting, 3 hours after the noon. The third fit. Stay and listen, everyone, all that still are here. Of Little John, the knight's man, good mirth ye shall hear. It was on a merry day that young men would go shoot. Little John strung his bow and said he would go too. 3 times Little John shot about, and each time he slit the wood. The proud sheriff of Nottingham by the target stood. The sheriff swore a full great oath, by him that died on a tree, this man is the best archer that I ever did see. Tell me now, strong young man, why is thy name? In what country were you born? And where is your dwelling place? In Holderness, sir, I was born. That's where I live still. Men call me Reynold Greenleaf when I am in those hills. Tell me, Reynold Greenleaf, will you live with me? And every year I will give you 20 marks for your fee. I have a master, said Little John, a courteous knight is he. If you get leave of him, the better may it be. The sheriff got Little John for 12 months from the night, and right away he gave him a good strong horse to ride. Now Little John is the sheriff's man, God help us all, but always thought Little John to square the old account. Now God help me, said Little John, by my true loyalty, I shall be the worst servant to him that ever he yet had he. It fell upon a Wednesday, the sheriff a-hunting was gone, and Little John lay in his bed and was forgotten at home. There he was fasting till it was past the noon. Good Sir Stewart, I pray thee, give me my dinner soon. It is long for Greenleaf fasting for to be. Therefore, I pray thee, Sir Steward, my dinner give to me. You will never eat nor drink, said the steward, till my lord has come to town. I make my vow to God, said John, I'll sooner crack your crown. The butler was very uncourteous. There he stood on the floor. He started for the bottlery and shut fast the door. Little John gave the bottler such a tap, his back was nearly broke. Though he lived 100 years, it's the worst he'd ever know. Little John kicked the door with his foot. It went open well and fine, and there he found a large purveyance, both of ale and of wine. Since you won't dine with me, said Little John, I shall let you drink. And though you live 100 winters, on Little John you shall think. Little John ate and Little John drank, as much as he could hold. The sheriff had in his kitchen a cook, a stout man and bold. I make my vow to God, said the cook, you aren't worth a piss, to live in any house and eat like this. There he lent Little John good strokes 3. I make my vow to God, said John, those strokes really liked me. You are a bold, hearty man, so it seems to me, and before I leave this place, better tried shall you be. Little John drew a good long sword. The cook took another in hand. They did not think a thought to flee, but stiffly for to stand. There they fought together, 2 miles across the floor. Neither one could hurt the other for at least an hour or more. I make my vow to God, said Little John, by my true loyalty, you are one of the best swordsmen that I ever yet did see. If you can shoot a bow as well, you should come with me to the woods, and 2 times a year there you can change your clothes. And every year Robin Hood will give you 20 marks for your fee. Put up thy sword, said the cook, and fellows we will be. Then he fed Little John the best parts of the dough, good bread and full good wine they ate and drank also. And when they had drank well, their pledges together they pledged. That very same night they would be with Robin among the greenwood hedge. They went to the treasure house as fast as they could have gone. The locks that were full of good steel, they broke them every one. They took away the silver vessel and all that they could get, cups, goblets, and spoons, nothing did they forget. They also took the good money, 300 pounds and more, and went straight to Robin Hood, up to the greenwood door. God save thee, my dear master, and Christ save thee too. And then said Robin to Little John, it's good to see thee too. And also that stout yeoman you've brought along with thee. What tidings now from Nottingham, Little John? Tell me. Well, the proud sheriff is weeping, and sent these here by me, his cook and all his silverware, and 300 pounds and 3. I make my vow to God, said Robin, and to the Trinity. It was never by his good will these goods have come to me. Little John then and there thought of a shrewd plan. He gathered all his will, and 5 miles into the forest he ran. Then he met the proud sheriff, hunting with hounds and horn. Little John was Little John was full courteous and knelt down before him. God save thee, my dear master, and Christ save thee too. Reynold Greenleaf, said the sheriff, what have you been up to? I have been in this forest, a fair sight I did see. It was one of the fairest sights that ever appeared to me. Yonder I saw a right fair hart. His color is of green. 70 of deer in a herd follow where he leads. Their antlers are so sharp, master, at least 60 or more, that I dare not shoot at them for fear I might be gored. I make my vow to God, said the sheriff, that sight I'd like to see. Get moving, my dear master, right now and come with me. The sheriff rode, and Little John, on foot he was full smart. And when they came before Robin, lo, sir, here's the master hart. Still stood the proud sheriff, a sorry man was he. You aren't worth much, Reynold Greenleaf, you have betrayed me. I make my vow to God, said Little John. Master, you're to blame. I was kept from my dinner when I was at your home. Soon they sat down to supper, served on a silver plate. When the sheriff saw his vessel, for sorrow he could not eat. Cheer up, said Robin Hood. Sheriff, for charity, and for the love of Little John, thy life I grant to thee. When they had eaten well, the day was all but gone. Take off the sheriff's shoes and socks, said Robin to Little John. His shirt and his fur coat they took from the sheriff then, and gave him a green mantle to wrap his body in. Robin commanded his strong young men under the greenwood tree that they should sleep in the same clothes so the sheriff could see. All night lay the proud sheriff in his undershirt. No wonder it was in the greenwood his sides began to hurt. Cheer up, Sheriff, said Robin, for by God's charity, this is how we live under the greenwood tree. This is a harder way to live, said the sheriff, than any hermit or friar. For all the gold in merry England, I wouldn't stay in these briars. For the next 12 months, said Robin, you shall dwell here with me. I shall teach you, proud sheriff, and outlaw, how to be. Ere I stay here another night, said the sheriff, Robin, I beg you, cut off my head instead tomorrow, and then I will forgive you. Let me go then, said the sheriff, for Saint's charity, and I will be the best friend you ever did see. You shall swear me an oath, said Robin, on my bright sword. You will never wait to waylay me, by land nor by water. And if you find any of my men, by day or by night, upon thy oath, ye shall swear to help them all you might. Now the sheriff has sworn his oath, and homeward made his speed. He was as full of the greenwood as a berry is of seed. And that is where I will end for today. I hope you will join me again tomorrow for the fourth fit. Goodbye.